This is high school football, Alabama, after the game on a football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. John Holder, Gerhard Mathangani, the coach Michael Short, and our special guest as we continue with our Noble Bank and Trust postgame presser as the head coach of the White Plains High School Wildcats, Coach Chandler Tyree. Coach, glad to have you with us tonight. Homecoming tonight out at White Plains. Oak Grove comes in from Jefferson County. Tough loss for your team tonight, 27-25, but this was a game, I'm going for the score. You can tell it sounds like a close game.
25.
25, excuse me.
And I felt like we had some opportunities early in the game and we didn't capitalize on them. And when you let a team hang around and then they got some stuff going, we struggled stopping belly and trap all night long. So I got to go back and see why we struggled to stop and try to fix some things on film when I get back. But all right, we were down 27-12 with less than 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter and got two big stops and two big scores and went for two, and it was there, and we had to pump it, kind of had a guy in our face, and just the pump allowed them to have enough time to kind of make up for it. But it was a great play call. Without the pump, I feel like we catch it. The guy was wide open for a second, but they made, when Barksdale was rolling, he had to take kind of pump fake, get a throwing lane, and by that time they had a guy that had worked over. But so I was really proud of the way our kids competed, being down 27-12 and not just packing it up and ready to go to the house. I was really excited to see we're growing, the culture's growing. To not hurt, and it should hurt when you lose, and it hurt our kids, and they were tore up about it. And we just we started too little, too late, and got to go back and look at the film and see what we could have done differently. But super proud of the way our kids competed.
I tell you one thing, I've known Chandler Tyree for a long time, and one of the things that he has done since he's come to White Plains, a trademark of the White Plains football teams, is they do not quit. There's fight in this team. You just mentioned that, being down by 15 points in this game and coming back and almost winning the thing tonight. That is one thing I've seen that you have instilled. You talk about culture. That's one thing I've seen that you have instilled in the culture at White Plains.
I think that's a big thing. I mean, we're still trying to get there on the field as far as winning big games. And we won a big game last week. That was a one-score game. Just came up short this week. But we're starting 3 or 4 ninth graders. Had an 8th grader on the field at times tonight. Replacing everybody on our offensive line except for one guy from last year. Replaced everybody on our defensive line. And so we got a bunch of young guys that are growing up right now. And through this adversity, it's going to help them grow. And as we move forward the rest of this year and the future, that's going to pay big-time dividends for us because guys are growing up. I mean, sometimes you have players that really shouldn't be playing, but we don't have a choice but to play them. And they're giving us everything they got, and they're growing up. I mean, tonight with 9th grade center, struggled early, but really came along as the game went along. So I can't say enough about our kids. I hate that we came up on the short side of the thing, but it's just like I told them, like, win, lose, I'm with you guys. I'm here for you guys, and that's what it's all about. Just like Coach Nix just said, like, it's all about the kids. And so win or lose, they're my guys, and I love them, and I wouldn't choose anybody else over them because I know I'm getting everything they got every single day.
Gerhard was at the game tonight out at Robertson Field, spent the first half out there, and you have the highlights of the game from when you were out there. I know you and Coach were talking during the break there about there was not much scoring at the first part of this game. Kind of a quick first half. Take us to the highlights out at homecoming at Robertson Field.
Yeah, let's go straight to Robertson Field for the highlights of this one. It's a beautiful night out there, and it was homecoming night. Lots of festive atmosphere out there at White Plains today. And Coach, I know homecoming comes with its own things altogether. Let me give some credit here to our Charlie Hinkle. He called this. Katie Peacock, your homecoming queen, over there at White Plains. White Plains, some great energy early on. Is a great interception by Hayden Barksdale, and I'll tell you what, a fantastic play. Went up and got that ball up top. All right, so this one, guys, I got to admit, last week I kept calling him Jaden. I got made fun of on social media a little bit. It is Dylan Barksdale, and I will never forget that. He didn't get cleared, to my understanding, Coach, until late because that ankle that you saw was heavily taped up, but he looks really good early on. Solid run here, give him 18 yards and a big first down. A little bit later on, it is Barksdale again, this time going the other way down the Oak Grove sideline. This is in the second quarter. And Coach E is a weapon for you, taking it down inside the red zone, a long run there. And then you give it to Rodney Perry on the inside here, some great blocking. He's a really elusive guy, breaks a couple of tackles.
That's L.J. Burns.
L.J. Burns, another name that I'll get muddy on social media. L.J. Burns with the run right there. Couldn't get the 6 and the 3. It was a little dark on those jerseys. L.J. Burns getting in for the setup, and then Barksdale in for the touchdown a little bit later on. You guys took a 6-0 lead early on. You mentioned it, the fight with this team, and one of the things that you said that I really loved. And there's the score right here. You see the 2-point loss. But Coach, one of the things you said was today hurt and it should. And the reason why I like that is because when it hurts and it seriously hurts, that means you expect to win. And this crew expects to win, especially after what they did last week. They dug deep last week and they got a big win over Rambert. And they were able to do that. And then they see how it feels on the other side of that. And I feel like those lessons can be learned. It's tough in the moment, but they're lessons that can be learned 6-7 weeks from now. That really helps out.
Exactly. I fully. I mean, there was kids crying over a week 1 loss, and that's what I want. Like, it should hurt to lose. Mm-hmm. When you put as much time in the summer and throughout the week as you do, and you're doing the tough stuff that not a lot of people want to do. Especially now, because there's just so much more that kids can do now than to play football. Football's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes. You try to talk people into playing football. It's hard, mm-hmm. and athletics is hard. Yeah. And you learn adversity and discipline and all that stuff. And but like I told them tonight, like there's going to be bad things that happens in their life. There's going to be adversity that hits. There's going to be things where you get up one day and you're at a job and you got a wife and a kid and they call you in and they say, hey, we're cutting your position, and then you got to find a job to put food and stuff on the table for your wife and your kids. So adversity is going to hit in life, and so I think football teaches you a lot about life, and everything's not always going to go your way. And like winning's not fair. You can put in all the work you want to put in. You can do extra. You can do all that, but sometimes it just does not go your way. And so we're just trying to build a culture, and I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I love our kids. Love our community. Our community has been unbelievable the past 2 weekends. So I can't say enough about our fans and the atmosphere that they've allowed our kids to play in the past 2 weeks.
Coach, we've brought up culture. We've brought up hard work, not giving up, those type of things. In my mind, because I've been there before, and I appreciate what you do, by the way, weight room. That's where all that stuff comes from, is that weight room. Tell us a little bit, because we're friends on social media, and I got the opportunity to see that interview or that review of your new weight room. That's where it all happens.
Yes, sir.
Give us an idea about that new weight room you got and just what it looks like and what it's done for your program.
It's just, there's a lot of pride that goes into our players when we walk in there now. We've had some guys that's really fallen in love with the weight room in the offseason, and you can tell. They're still young guys, so it's not going to really pay off for another year probably. But we've had some 9th and 10th graders, and I mean, Brandon Hom has had 2 really great – I mean, I can't ask for better leadership and play than we've got from him. But he's a guy that's fallen in love with the weight room, and his body's changed, and he's always been a strong guy. But stuff like that, when you have – in the spring, we didn't do a traditional spring training, but we worked out – 3 to 4 times a week, and then went on the field and walked through stuff. But our junior high was on one side of the weight room, and our varsity guys were on the other side of the weight room. And just like seeing the work ethic and how hard those older guys were working is going to continue to trickle down to those younger guys. And so it's like you said, if you can fall in love with the weight room and you work hard in there and you work through adversity and you push for that extra rep when you don't think you got anything left in the tank, that shows on Friday night. And so a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people will never understand why the weight room translates to the football field. But there's a lot of lessons that you can learn in the weight room. I mean, some days you're going to walk in there and you're not going to feel very good. You're going to have a bad morning. You're going to have a bad day, whatever, and you're not going to feel very good. But you still got to push through and get the workout in. So we fall in love with the weight room. We've got the new weight room equipment, which has been huge. I think our touchdown club has helped raise over like $70,000 this offseason to get that, to make that happen and to make other stuff happen. And so I can't say enough about our community, and just proud that we were able to add that for our kids, not just our football players, but all of our student athletes. And so that's gonna continue to pay dividends now, and then 10 years from now we're gonna see that paying off. So
it will. Perfect example today. I run into a former player, and he looks at me and says, "Coach, all those hard times in the weight room, has made me who I am today. So it's perfect.
No doubt about it.
That's what happens, and that's what you're going to get 10 years from now.
Yes, sir.
Coach Tyree, as we take a look at region play now, you got an open date next week, and then you jump into region play. I think the open date probably coming at a good time.
It is. Just like Barksdale's injured, got a few people with some little necks and knacks there, but it's just going to allow us to get healthy. Barksdale had a really great game for us tonight, and people don't realize he's probably 85% tops best. And so just gutted it out. I really didn't think he'd play this week, but he gutted it out, and he kind of showed the heart that he has and the leadership that he has.
Coach, Class 4A Region 4 there. It is not easy in this region. This is probably top to bottom, I would expect. The toughest region in Class 4A in the state probably has been that way for a couple of years. Your assessment as you look there, Anniston won tonight, Hanley won tonight, Jackson won tonight, Munford had an open date, Talladega also had an open date. Your team sitting there, and then you've got Cleveland County as well. Just kind of your assessment of this region.
Well, going from top to bottom, Anniston is probably, in my opinion, the most athletic and probably the most top to bottom team in all of 4A football, in my opinion. I think they have the most talent of anybody in 4A football. Cleveland County is going to play really hard, and that's going to be a dogfight every single time you play them. Coach Joby Burns is doing a good job over there. Hanley, if you don't know about Hanley, you've been living under a rock, or you're not into 4A football. I mean, they've had some of the best teams in the state for the past 3 years now. Jacksonville, not too long ago, played for a state championship, and it's been really good. And they probably have the best quarterback in this area. They're going to be really good on the defensive front. They got a lot of playmakers. Munford probably has the best playmaker in the whole entire region with Sylvester Smith. He's just a good kid. I remember him. He was an 8th grader whenever I finished up at Munford. Talladega it's going to take Bill, Coach Smith, some time. I guess I can call him Bill. I'm pretty close with him. I talked to him on the phone a pretty good bit. But Coach Smith is a great guy. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without him. And his coaching tree is starting to look really good. You got Daryl LeBeau over in Birmingham, me, Coach Holcomb. He hired Coach Holcomb at Southside for his first job. And so can't say nothing about it, but it's going to take him some time, and you got to be patient. And it takes time to build culture, and it takes time to get a program to where you want it to be at. But from top to bottom, and then when you go to a new job at Talladega and then you get stuck in our region, that don't do you no favor. And I have no idea who scheduled his non-region games. I tell him, I said, Coach, I feel sorry for you. But our region's the toughest in the state, and it is what it is. And you can pout about it or cry about it or feel bad or whatever, or you can pull your bootstraps up and get ready to work every week and grind, and that's what we're going to choose to do.
Coach, I know you got to get back on the road to White Plains. You got a lot of work to do, but I remember when you played. Hey, guys, you remember when he played.
Oh, yeah.
This guy was a great high school football player at Oxford High School. He was now. He was an all-star in every way. Homecoming, coaches typically don't like homecoming when they become a coach. Look at Coach over there. He's shaking his head, no, don't like homecoming. But when you're a player, you're like when you were at Oxford, what do you remember about it? Did you like homecoming? From a player perspective, when you were at Oxford, did you like homecoming or you didn't like homecoming, and why?
I was a different kind of kid, but I got a story for you. I know I didn't get into all that, but I remember it was when Blockbuster was still open, and we saw some people that we knew on a Friday night, and they were just blown away that I was hanging out with my parents on a weekend night instead of going out and doing stuff. But I was a homebody. I was very, very focused on what I loved sports from the time I started playing. I was very focused on I wanted to get a scholarship. Now I still had fun, but I loved sports. My dad didn't make me play sports. I love sports, and so I've learned so much stuff from sports. And we don't make a whole lot of money in education, but it was something that I felt like that God called me to do, was to coach and to stay and do this as long as I possibly can. And so as long as He's got me here, I'm going to be where my feet are at, and we're going to continue to go. But no, I wasn't a big homecoming person, and I
like you better now.
I'm still not a huge one. I want our kids to have a good time because you don't get high school back. But I just wasn't. I never got into all that.
And congratulations. I'll give my congratulations to Katie Peacock. I've been to Six Flags a bunch of times with Katie and my daughter. We've ridden the Goliath and the whole 9 yards. So Katie is a fine young lady, and congratulations on her being the homecoming queen tonight out at White Plains. Coach, thank you for coming being with us. Best wishes to you and your football team the rest of the way. Thank you for joining us here on the Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Let's tell you about Ted's Carpet and Floor. They are, well, let me just tell you, we talked last week about Coach Short. They came to my house this summer, came to Coach Short's house this summer, and they laid carpet and they laid hardwoods, and they did a great job. Sheldon today, I found out something about Sheldon. Sheldon at Ted's Carpet and Floor, not only will he come out to your house and do free estimates and do a great job, great to work with, but Coach Short today, I'm telling you, he was leading the pep rally at Donahoe today. He was just really, I thought he was a cheerleader at heart by the time we got out of there today.
At some point in time in his life, he may have been a cheerleader. Because, I mean, that's, my goodness. I was just, and it was impressive. Some of the moves around and dancing and hollering.
And he didn't quit. He was leading the cheerleading squad today. Ted's Carpet and Floor, the bottom line is this. They bring you our team of the week, and they are phenomenal folks to work with. If you have